Good morning, everyone. Okay, welcome to another new week. We continue our book reading this morning, Advanced Selling Strategy by Brian Tracy. We are in chapter 9, How to Make Powerful Presentation. Last week, we looked at starting strong on page 322. It taught us that one way to establish rapport as a salesperson when meeting with a client or a prospect is to start off with talking about the important qualities and attributes of the company in which you work for. Before you can start up that conversation, you can go ahead to ask the customer or the prospect if they know very much about your company. Then you can, start from there to tell them about your company's attributes and their success and the qualities and important things about your company. The second way in which to build rapport with your clients or your prospect is to also to ask business questions. Ask them concerning their customers, ask them concerning their product and services and whatever they are dealing with. When you ask business questions to your prospect or your client, it helps them to see you as a consultant. They perceive you as a consultant. They know they make them see you as a person who knows what they are doing, and it makes them see you as a client, a customer, or someone who cares for their customers. So today we'll continue from there on page 324. Still under starting off strong. Remember, starting off strong, do not talk about your price, rather talk about your company's achievement and the rest of it. So the approximate ratio for you to use is 2 business questions to 1 personal question. You start with predominantly personal questions and move gradually into asking predominantly business questions. Your questions move from the general to the specific. You ask something like, what are you currently doing in this area? And then, how do you feel about the results you've been getting? The best sales people ask twice as many open-ended questions throughout the sales conversation as the poorest salespeople. They develop a balanced dialogue with an easy ebb and flow of questions and answers. They are curious and interested, but they do not engage in interrogation. When they ask a question, they encourage the prospect to expand on the answer by nodding, smiling, and listening intently. They lean forward and nod agreeably to encourage the prospect to answer more fully. Top salespeople practice a psychotherapeutic technique with their customer called unconditional positive regard. This means that they remain completely non-judgmental. They do not evaluate or judge anything the prospect says. They remain pleasant and supportive, but neutral. They allow the prospect to say anything he wants about anything or anyone, but they neither agree nor disagree. They neither feed nor starve the conversation. Good salespeople are careful to avoid talking about subjects of an emotional or controversial nature, such as politics, religion, or their personal lives. If a prospect introduces this subject, the sales professional will listen, acknowledge, and comment, non-committal. For example, the prospect could say, "Those idiots in Washington are going to ruin the economy." You could reply, "You just never know what they are going to do next." Top salespeople are invariably pleasant, positive, and easygoing. They are relaxed and smiling, and they sidestep controversial issues. They don't allow themselves to get distracted from the purpose of their call. They know that time is valuable, and they do everything possible to avoid wasting it by talking about things that have nothing to do with their product or service. And if you don't feed a subject by getting embroiled in it and commenting on it, it ends to die away of its own accord. You don't want your time used up talking about things that don't help your sales. Problem identification. Your ability to clearly identify the exact problem that your product or service can solve in a cost-effective way is the key to sales success. The two types of question you use to help identify the problem and show that it is a large enough problem to be worthy of solving are situation questions and meaning questions. You probe with additional situation questions to get a deeper understanding of exactly what he's using it for, and what shortcoming it might have. Sometimes, people are reluctant to admit that their situations are less than ideal. They will say, "We are not really into the market right now, but we are interested in learning more about what is available for the future." Or, "We are quite satisfied with our current supplier, but we like to talk to others just to keep current." You respond by saying, "Mr. Prospect, your current supplier, ABC Company, is an excellent organization. They have been in business many years and they are very successful with their products. However, we have an approach to this situation that is different from theirs, and this is causing many ABC's best customers to switch over to us. Let me show you what I mean." You then go on to explain a relative strength of your company in the situation under discussion. Once you've done that, you go back into your questioning processes to find out more about what it is the customer is doing and what it is he's really trying to accomplish in the particular area where your product is relevant. What are their overall problems? What are their specific problems? If they could change any one thing in a particular area, what one thing would it be? Keep probing, keep looking for the opening that shows you the problem you can solve. The second type of question in this phase of meaning questions, when a prospect says that he has a problem with a piece of machinery or a business process, you ask questions such as, "What does that mean to you? How much does that cost you? How many other people does that affect? What is the real cost of production delay that occurs when that machine breaks down? What are the indirect costs associated with a piece of machinery that doesn't work the way it's supposed to?" Prospects are also motivated by the pleasure principle. They move away from pain and towards pleasure. They move from discomfort or dissatisfaction towards comfort or satisfaction. They only act when they feel pain. Your questioning is meant to reveal where it hurts. Your follow-up questioning is aimed at taking a minor discomfort and turning it into a potential major discomfort. It is to open the prospect's mind to his needs to do something soon to solve this particular problem, rather than letting it continue. By questioning skillfully, enlarging the problem, and by helping the prospect see your product as the ideal solution, you can create sales where no sales exist. Okay, this is where we'll stop for our reading today. We started from where we stopped last week, starting off strong. Today it continued telling us to use business questions. So aside from asking personal questions and asking business questions, you also have to move gradually to ask predominantly business questions. So from asking general specific business questions, you're asking personal, business, or rather specific business question. Ask open-ended questions, that will lead to sales conversation and stuff like that. It also taught us that you should avoid, that good salespeople avoid talking about sensitive subject or emotional subject or topics that are controversial in nature, such as politics, religion, or anything that is so sensitive as regards to their personal life, unless the client or the prospect bring up these issues themselves. On a normal day, when having a sales conversation, you as a salesperson shouldn't bring up these issues. And when you talk about these sensitive issues, you should know how and what to reply to them. As a salesperson, it is advising us to be pleasant, be positive, be easy going, be relaxed, be smiling. Let your demand, present a, how do I put it now, a comfortable environment and atmosphere for the client or the prospect to be free to talk with you. The next one read is problem identification. So your ability to clearly identify the exact problem that your product or service can solve in a cost-effective way is the key to sales success. So in the process of asking all these personal and business questions, you should know that your main aim of asking all these questions is for you to know where the problem is, or where exactly what problem the customer or client is having that your product and service will be able to solve. Is it going to solve supplier issue? Is it going to solve product usage issue and the rest of it? Then secondly, under identifying problem identification, it also identified two types of questions that you should ask when trying to identify a problem with your prospect or your client. The first phase is asking meaning questions. Like it said before, asking specific questions. This specific question is meant to reveal where your customer is emotionally hot when it comes to product and services, where their pain point is, and where the hot red button is. If we could remember to our previous pages where it was talking about looking for your customers hot button, their hot button is their pain point, where they are actually feeling discomfort and dissatisfaction. So as a salesperson, your job is to motivate your prospect, to buy your product. By it said you can use the pleasure principle, which moves your clients or your customers away from pain and dissatisfaction towards pleasure, comfort, and satisfaction. So, like I said before, by questioning them, you help to enlarge their problem. You help to identify their problem and see where your product and your service can be a solution to them, which will also create a sales for you as a salesperson. So that is it for our reading today. Thank you.